And just a week or so ago, they tuned back the speed and the distance on the glide to make it more fair, but now she's fallen from being a must pick to being, in my opinion, a very mid legend once again. 07, the Horizon and her legacy.
Does anyone ever make tier list of what they actually like? No? Fine, I'll do it myself. What's up, my fellow basement dwellers? Today I'm gonna share my Apex Legends tier list with you. And I know making a Legends tier list video is not anything special. There's 10 of them every single season, but you know me, I like to do things my way, and as I always say, fuck meta. So if it wasn't super clear from that intro scene you just watched, this tier list is based completely on my personal preferences and how much I have fun playing each legend, no matter how good or bad they are, and some of my overall opinions about them, including lore, character or design. Just a little disclaimer before we start, so no one takes this video in a way I don't want to. I absolutely love and support all my fellow legends, and I'm the last person on this entire planet who shit talk someone for their main, or support dumb stereotypes even if I don't find your legend appealing or I'm straight up annoyed by them. It's just my personal opinion and you shouldn't take it for granted or get discouraged by it. At the end of the day, we're just having fun, and that's all that matters. By the way, if you like this idea and you wish to share your tier list, I'm more than happy to take a look at what you guys like to play. I'm gonna leave a link to this tier list in the description, and you can also join my Discord server where you have a tier list chat. You can post it there, take a look at our tier lists, or find some other fun ones to make. We'll be happy to see you. Anyway, let's get to the tier list now. I'm gonna put legends into 6 tiers, which are Horizon, Favorites, Fun to Play, Okay, Meh, What the fuck, and
Never. I'll never turn to the dark side.
So first of all, let me take Horizon and put her on the very top where she belongs. Horizon having a special tier above all the legends should not be surprised to anyone at this point. It takes one click to any of my socials to see how much I love this character, and the question everyone's obviously asking is, why? What exactly makes her so incredibly special to me? Well, let me tell you, that's a very long and personal story. I'm not sure I'm ready to share yet, but one day you guys are gonna hear all of it, and trust me, you're probably not ready for it either. Apart from that, I'd say her character, lore, design and aesthetics, even the gameplay, all of it is literally match made in heaven. If I had to make my own character for a game, it would look very similar to Horizon just based on my personal preferences and things and ideas I like. It's actually insane how perfectly they managed to hit the mark. Whenever I play the game, the sole fact that I can play her, listen to her voice lines, swing around the heirloom, it makes me so happy and calm. It's like when you play a single player game so many times because how much you vibe with the main character, that's exactly the case here, and that's only a small part of this entire story. I love Dr. Mary Summers to death, she literally changed my life. Anyway, let's get started on other legends, and the first one we have Alter. Alter is one of those legends I never really got to play properly because for some reason I always end up on a team with some super dedicated Alter main, or maybe I just don't want to listen to her corny ass voice lines. Anyway, as far as I know, she's really fun to play. She's one of those legends you can get really creative with, so if you take time to get comfortable with her abilities, you're gonna become a menace. And she pretty much took Horizon out of the meta, because she basically does the same thing but better. So thanks Alter, I owe you this one. When it comes to character and lore, I really like her concept as this mysterious being from another dimension. I remember when she was new and spent a lot of time wondering, who is she? Where does she come from? Is she even human? And I'm pretty sure this is the reason why she's so popular and appealing to a lot of people. Fun to play tier. Next legend on our tier list is the Heartless Toaster, and I'm one of those people who actually liked playing Ashe even before she got her ridiculous buff, mainly because her ult is and always was one of the best reposition abilities in the game, especially when it comes to team play. My problem with Ashe before was that she didn't have enough mobility apart from her ult, which obviously got fixed with the recent addition of the dash. I still think that she should have some kind of a parry, you know, with this big ass sword she's running around with, the same way her Ronin Titan in Titanfall, but especially with her recent changes, I'd say she's definitely fun to play. Her lore is really cool as well. I mean, it's Titanfall, so that goes without saying, but don't get me started on the character. I think my opinion on her is pretty obvious. I'll be honest, I never like playing ballistic. I don't know if it's just me, but I think an ability to completely disable a gun mid-fight with fucking auto aim on top of that should never been a thing in the first place. It's not enjoyable to play, and it's definitely not fun to play against. His ult is okay, I guess. Speed boost and damage boost, that's pretty much it. It's not even useful most of the time. And it's a shame because I actually love Ballistic as a character. I absolutely love his lore, and his story is one of the best in the entire game, but when it comes to gameplay, I'm sorry Ballistic mains, our old champ is a meh tier for me. Bang is really fun to play. I'm not saying this only because she is one of my all-time favorite streamers. Her abilities are genuinely one of the best and the most comfortable for both veterans and new players, especially if you're coming from CS because, you know, smoke grenades. But for me personally, this guy is definitely the main reason I even got into playing her. Watching a good Bangalore player is so satisfying, and so is playing her. One of the seasons I made Diamond was with Bang, and it was solo queue. And if that's not enough, her lore is fucking awesome. Definitely one of the best stories from the Outlands in the game. She absolutely deserves a place among my favorites. Bloodhound in Savannah I should probably play with how often I have problems with seeing enemies, and while their abilities are solid and fun to use, they're just completely outclassed by every single recon legend in the game, and it's not even about the current meta. If I wanna go for recon, I would pick Valk or Sparrow, just because they're simply better and doing much more when it comes to core gameplay. I like Bloodhound, even the lore is pretty cool, and the gameplay is fun, so I'm gonna give them OK tier. What have they done to my girl Cat? She used to be so good and fun to play, and keep in mind I'm a guy who likes aggressive legends, but if there was one defensive legend I always had so much fun with, it was Catalyst back in her prime. Throwing goo at people, throwing goo everywhere, gooing the door, or just pulling off that sweet satisfying wall to split the final zone in half, I loved it so much. And then, they decided to obliterate her.
0.3 fucking pick rate.
Like, who thought this is a good idea?
You can't keep getting away with it!
You know what, I don't care how bad she is now, Cat is always gonna be my favorite defensive legend, and I'm sitting here waiting for the day she gets buffed so I can actually enjoy playing her again. And I absolutely love her lore and design, especially all that dark, magic, witch aesthetics. Yes, I'm a grown-ass man with a taste of 15-year-old emo girl, and I'm not ashamed of that. Okay, take a deep breath. There's no need for complaining or toxicity. Just chill. I cannot fucking stand Caustic. I'm really sorry to any Caustic mains watching this, but I've had 2415 hours of beef with this motherfucker, and it's not gonna end anytime soon. Whenever I see his ugly ass steps or buildings that looks like fucking Taco Bell bathrooms, I wish I was never born. This guy is my fucking sleep paralysis demon, and you think it'd be at least fun to play when he's so obnoxious to fight? No, Caustic gameplay is the most boring shit I've ever seen. Being dead probably requires more brain activity than playing Caustic. Just stay in the building, spam Q, and then wait for someone to come close enough to choke on your gas. And again, please don't get me wrong, I respect all the fellow legends and I'm absolutely not someone who shit talk people for their main or their taste in general. I'm just trying really hard to understand what people like about Caustic. He's boring to play, he's boring as a character, well, there's not much character or a lot to talk about. Why would you become a Caustic main? How do you look at all 27 legends in the game and decide that Caustic is the most appealing of them? I genuinely don't get it, somebody please explain this to me. If you ever see me playing Caustic, my account's probably hacked, or I'm drunk as fuck to the point I don't know what I'm doing. Anyone who's ever played with me knows that I'm not a good support player. I'm the one who needs support players. But for some reason, Conduit is an exception I randomly tried one day and I actually had fun playing her. Maybe it's because you can also use her abilities to be really aggressive, or she's just easy to learn. Either way, I like playing her. I even like her as a character, she's so nice, chill and funny. I guess she just fits the Horizon character type I feel comfortable around. Unfortunately, her lore is really neglected. We pretty much haven't seen anything since her release. But overall, fun to play tier it is. I have no idea how to play Crypto. I mean, I know how to play him on paper, but when I actually pick him in the game, I suck. I guess he's just one of those legends that fits only a certain group of people with a really specific playstyle, and he takes so much time to master that most people are just gonna go for other recon or support legends that are much easier. It also doesn't help that his entire existence is pretty much dependent on his drone, and if you don't have it, you're completely useless. Crypto could definitely use some rework to make him more user-friendly, and some lore as well, because his lore is actually one of the best. But until then, what the fuck. Fusumi is kinda same as Ballistic. Cool lore, cool character, but that's pretty much it. When it comes to gameplay, he's not appealing to me at all. It's just spamming nades everywhere, and yes, this is coming from a Horizon main. You can put out some really solid damage, but it takes one Wattson or Newcastle to make him useless. And like half of the legends in the game can easily counter his ult. I Q out of it all the time. I've heard there are some buffs or reworks for Fuse coming in the future that could make him much better, but until then, meh. Next we have our big boy Gibby. He's one of the support legends I should be comfortable playing, but well, not really. You see, I love his gameplay as a concept. He's a perfect balance between aggressive and defensive, but A, he's still support and you guys already know how comfortable I'm in this role, and B, his entire gameplay is pretty much built around this dome, which is a really cool ability, but kinda requires you to use shotguns. And guess what? I hate using shotguns. I'm terrible with PK or Mastiff. Just give me R9 and I'm the happiest man alive. So yeah, Gibby on paper looks really fun, but when I actually try to play him, I'm like, what the fuck? We've all had that one random teammate who picked Lifeline and either had no idea how to use her abilities or simply didn't give a fuck. And we still tend to trust support players with our life despite playing with them for the first time ever, and it often ends up, well...
Lifeline! Where's me? Lifeline use! Where's Lifeline?
Well, she definitely used to be much harder to play. Of all support legends, Lifeline especially is someone who massively relies to the support playstyle to be useful. And if you don't know how to play her properly, you're gonna sabotage your team. And that's exactly the reason why I don't play her. Loba, on the other hand, is my favorite support legend. Unlike other supports, her playstyle is not built around healing or reviving your teammates, she's all about mobility and providing loot both with her black market and her support perks for the supply bins. I think that's what I've always liked about her. You can still be super aggressive and keep your team alive at the same time. You push a fight and it goes south, there's a pretty good chance you'll be able to queue out of it, craft banners, respawn, put your ult down and be back in the game in no time. She's also one of the best designed characters in the game, and no, I don't mean it in a gooner way, it takes much more for me to find someone appealing. I'm talking her overall design, outfit and vibe. I just like classy, elegant looking women. I mean, this is my favorite Horizon skin. Her lore is really good, although it got a little bit boring towards the end. I don't really like her as a character, but I think that's kind of a point. Maggie is fun to play. I know she's not really strong and again really benefits shotgun users, but in general, I like her aggressive and oppressive playstyle. She can easily grieve the fuck out of you, especially if you're cornered or already low on health, plus I like throwing my balls at other people.
We need to talk about your balls.
She's even fun as a character. She's so unhinged and does not fuck around, but not in a typical cringe way, but in a fun way. I still get an occasional laugh or two from some of her voice lines or jokes. Her lore is cool, I guess. Again, not much more to talk about sadly, but in general, Maggie is fun to play and to be around. I mean, if it's not you she's trying to kill. Where do I even start? Okay, I'll start with the positive. Mirage is a really fun character. He's super cringe and awkward, but in a good way. Some people find his personality annoying, I like it. He looks like an elite level drinking partner. He doesn't have much lore, but from what I know, I absolutely love the story behind him messing around with holotech and his heirloom he made for his mom with dementia so she can always remember him. It's so wholesome and personal for me as well because of some life experiences. Let's talk about gameplay now. I actually used to like Mirage. I even played him sometimes back in the day. I remember he was a niche, respected pick, not viable in comp but fun in casual matches. That was until some
smart and talented developer
thought it's a good idea to significantly lower his stack and ult cooldown, give him invisible res, 3 invisible heals, and on top of that, he can scan every single beacon in the game. Tell me one thing he can't fucking do. Maybe he can go shopping or do my laundry, that would be cool. These changes basically killed Mirage for me. I refuse to even touch him anymore because of how stupid his gameplay is now. I probably wouldn't mind it that much in like casual games, but of course people abuse the fuck out of him in ranked, because why wouldn't they? And there's always gonna be self-proclaimed Apex experts saying,
Just listen to audio cues, bro, it's so easy. You just suck.
relying on Apex audio is probably the worst advice I've ever got in my entire life. Oh, maybe I should look for those tiny particles my ancient dying SSD cannot handle. I feel really terrible for actual OG Mirage players who have to watch their beloved main being brain dead and hated by everyone now. I know exactly how that feels. A few seasons back, he'd probably be like fun to play or at least okay tier, but Respawn did an awful job at balancing Mirage. Until they undo the damage, he's going to a dark side here with Caustic. Newcastle is a cool guy. I absolutely love his character and lore, which is partially Bangalore as well, but even his standalone story is just great. But when it comes to gameplay, well, I got literally zero clue how to play him. Besides him being a support, every time I tried to learn Newcastle, I was just terrible. I think it's the same case as Crypto. He's just too specific and hard to learn for casual player base that even if you like playing support, you'll just more likely go for someone like Lifeline or even Gibby. He's really one of those legends that can do more harm than good if you don't know how to use their abilities properly, and I never managed to figure it out. You can do drugs, and it's legal? Of course that's fun to play. Okay, now seriously. I always liked playing Octane, especially back in the day when I was newer to the game, experimenting with different types of legends. I think it's really fun and user-friendly, especially with his recent buffs. My personal problem with Octane is that he makes me brain dead. I'm naturally a really aggressive player, making a lot of dumb plays, pushing out of position a lot, running on pure momentum in most fights. With Octane, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog on crack. It genuinely causes me a headache. The Octane player stereotype of an Adderall-addicted ADHD kid is 100% true, and his crazy energetic personality doesn't help either. I just wish he got more lore. He's definitely one of those neglected legends who could use more screen time or depth to his story. There's this whole thing with Silva Pharmaceutics rebranding and trying to appeal its name, and I hope we get to see at least some of it. It could also be a good sequel to that cinematic he had with Lifeline fighting against their corrupted, well-profiting families. Anyway, fun to play tier it is. Pathfinder is really similar to Octane. He's one of those classic aggressive movement legends. Party mains are fast, ruthless, and deadly, always ready to grapple on you and send you back to the lobby. What I really like about Pathy is his teamplay potential. Not only his ult can be a lifesaver, especially with the supercharge perk, but also his ability to pick survey beacon or ring console scan depending on your team's playstyle. I think the only reason why he's not more popular is his fridge-sized hitbox. But no matter if you like playing Pathy or not, we can all agree with the fact that his character is absolutely fucking awesome and everyone loves him. Like, if you don't love Pathfinder and don't wanna be his friend, what's wrong with you, honestly? And of course, I have to add a personal note, his lore is connected to Titanfall a lot, so that's a huge bonus as well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of Rampart at all. Don't get me wrong, she's pretty good when it comes to both defensive and oppressive abilities. I just find her boring to play and annoying to play against, and her recent buffs definitely didn't help. Well, at least her character is pretty fun, and her lore is... Wait, she has no lore! I'm sorry Rampart mains. I don't have much to say about Rev because I barely ever play him. I think last time I actually did was after his rework, which definitely made him better and more fun to play. I just personally find other movement legends more fun and more useful when it comes to team play. At least Revenant lore is really cool and his voice lines are funny. It always catches me off guard and makes me laugh when I have him on my team. I would say he's okay. Back in the day, I used to play Seer sometimes during his peak meta, and you can't blame me, he was really good, borderline broken. Then he got pretty much buried with a gigantic nerf, so he became useless. And now I'd say he's the most balanced he's ever been. He's useful, but not stupidly broken, and he's one of those user-friendly legends as I call them, meaning he's easy to learn, and his entire concept is really simple, but he still requires some skill and creative thinking because you have information, but what you're gonna do with them, that depends entirely on you.
Hey, what about Seer lore?
Seer lore? Well, that's like my girlfriend.
So fun and beautiful?
It doesn't exist. Anyway, I like Seer, he's fun to play. Sparrow is a good combination of movement, oppressive abilities and recon. I still prefer Valk, especially with recent buffs, but from what I've tried when he was new, Sparrow is pretty fun to play once you get the hang of his abilities and double jump. Took me a while to learn that one.
Oh my god. What am I doing? Oh!
His character and lore is okay, I guess. Again, not much of a lore to talk about, but it makes sense given he's the most recent addition to the Apex games. I think he's okay. Anyway, let's get to a Recon Queen herself. Valk is one of my absolute favorites. She's my third most played legend in the game, and for very good reasons. Her mobility is one of a kind. When I started playing the game, she was actually my first legend I bought when I had enough legends coins. Yes, it was Valk, not Horizon. She was actually the second. I always loved flying, jetpack using characters in any game I touched, so Valk for me was a no-brainer. Back in the day she wasn't a recon class, but her ult scanning enemies from above was more than enough. At least one of those seasons I made Diamond was with Valk, and I ran her in Challenger Circuit a couple times as well, mainly because of her team play potential. She's one of my secondary picks when random teammates who don't know better take Horizon from me, and especially after her buff this season, she's a menace in both ranked and casual games. Oh, do I even have to start on the lore and its connection to Titanfall? Get your ass in that favorite tier, Valk. You deserve it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like Vantage. And it's not because of the actual character, I just don't like snipers and people who use snipers in general, and she's super annoying to play against. Although I gotta give it to her, she's a well designed and really flexible character, combining close range and long range combat along with recon abilities, and her bat is cute most of the time. I tried her a few times, and while I didn't necessarily have a bad time, she's just not my cup of tea. Wattson is surprisingly fun to play. As I mentioned with Catalyst, I'm not into defensive legends at all, but from what I tried, I actually enjoyed playing her. I think the reason is pretty much the same as Cat. You can get aggressive, and if something goes wrong, you have enough defensive abilities to keep you alive. What I specifically love about Wattson is that she's a direct counter to grenades and so many abilities of other legends, including my Black Hole. I think it's a shame she doesn't get more lore. Her lore is pretty much non-existent at this point, although the concept is really cool. She's basically the one who helped design the Apex games as we know them today. She definitely deserves more love. Last but definitely not least, Wraith is probably the closest legend to my heart after Horizon. She's my second most played legend, and she was my original main back in the day when I started playing Apex. I remember I picked Wraith because I thought her design and abilities are cool, and boy was I right. For me personally, Wraith is so fun to play, with insane potential for both solo play and team play. The portal was the reason for my successful in games more times than I can count. For my personal playstyle, Wraith fits my good old and dusted. I can push the W key, jump in head first, but if it goes south, I can instantly get the fuck out of there. And especially in the case of Wraith, without getting ripped to pieces on my retreat, which is for example a disadvantage of Horizon Q. I love Wraith's lore and her entire mysterious void aesthetic so much, and I really wish there was more to it. It's been years since she got something. She's still really popular, she still gets a lot of cosmetics and skins, but she absolutely deserves more love. At least I can give it to her by putting her among my favorites, which is exactly where she belongs. So this is the final verdict of ranking all the Apex Legends. Again, this is just my personal opinion, so if you'd like to share yours, you can make your own tier list and join our Discord server to share it with us. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.